How to make $1 million quickly, starting from zero. I know. Making $1 million sounds really hard, doesn't it? Well, it's nowhere near as hard as people try to make it seem. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it, and most importantly, how to do it quickly. Let's go.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
I'm going to share with you a detailed step-by-step process on how to go from zero to millionaire in less than a year. I'm going to share with you my biggest secret on how I learned to get large sums of money as I earned $1 million. And I'm going to share with you my dirty little secret on how to use other people's money, or OPM, to get there even faster. So let's talk about what it means to be a millionaire, because there are 3 definitions that we need to define so you know exactly which one you are going for. So first, we have millionaire by money. Basically, if you have $1 million in cash, obviously you are a millionaire. Now, this is probably the one that most people are thinking of. They want $1 million in cash to be a millionaire, but this is probably not the one that you want to go for, and probably not the best way to be a millionaire, but we're going to get into that. The second way to be a millionaire is a millionaire by assets, meaning your assets minus any liabilities on them equal out to $1 million. So for example, if you have 5 houses and they were all worth $200,000 and you had no liability on them, no mortgage, then you would be a millionaire. You would have $1 million of assets, and so you would be considered a millionaire. And then the last way that most people don't really think about is earning $1 million per year, okay? Earning $1 million per year, to me, is the best way to be a millionaire, and how most people actually are millionaires, in my mind. So to be a millionaire and make $1 million per year, you need to make at least $83,333.33 every single month. Basically, when I decided that I wanted to be a millionaire and earn $1 million per year, I divided $1 million by 12, and that's the number that I came up with. And to be very honest with you, it was very daunting. I felt like, oh my God, there is no way I am going to be able to make this much money. That number just seemed crazy to me. Even though at the time I was making over $10,000 per month. I was making over $100,000 per year. But taking my income from $100,000 a year to $1 million a year just really seemed crazy. It was 10xing my income, and it definitely seemed like something that was hard. But let me tell you, baby, it was not. It just takes a simple plan, and I'm going to tell you exactly step by step how you're going to do it and make $1 million a year, because that's the one I think you should focus on. So when I started from my parents' basement, I was broke, I had multiple foreclosures, and I had terrible credit. It was a very bad situation. So I was in a position where I was actually making no money at all. I was going to school full time, and I was a mom of 2 with 1 on the way. It was a very crazy situation for me, but I knew that I wanted to do real estate because I had made money in real estate before. However, with bad credit and no money, real estate was a really difficult thing for me to try to get back into. But I was absolutely wrong about that. The way that I had been doing real estate before got me in my parents' basement, but that was because I had no idea what I was doing. I literally was flipping houses with a full-time job. I was in my early 20s, and I had no idea what I was doing. So when the market crashed and I lost my job and my husband lost his job, we lost everything. We had no idea what we were doing. But the way that I turned this around when I was in my parents' basement with bad credit and no money is I learned how to find property problems. I learned how to find people that were behind on their mortgage payments, maybe in a bankruptcy or going through divorce, or they inherited a house they don't want, or they got relocated, or the roof was falling in, or a myriad of other awful things that were going on with their properties where they would want to sell it at a discount. He told me how to find these people with letters and flyers and bandit signs and all of these really low-cost things. And I was able to learn how to start making $5,000 per deal. And I was able to do at least one of those deals per month. And again, I was just getting started, nowhere near to the level of what I can do now. So as a side hustle, I started to make more money. And I realized that was going to be an important key to making $1 million quickly. I needed to increase my income. Instead of trying to cut back on what I ate for lunch and not drink Starbucks and all of that foolishness, I needed to earn more money. So once I had this side hustle that could pay me $5,000, $10,000 per deal, I was able to get a job and even still do those things on the side. Now, I'm not recommending that you go work for other people. That's what Noelle did, but it was an easy way for me to then have two streams of income. I had the money for my job, and then I had wholesaling on the side. And if you can do that and create multiple streams of income, you can quickly start to make $1 million. So let me tell you the next step. The second thing that I did to make $1 million quickly was I started to deal compound. My coach taught me that I should start where I was. Because I had bad credit and no money, I needed to start with wholesaling. But really and truly, even fixing and flipping and rental properties starts the same way. You need to find properties that are at a discount. So the skill set that I told you, where you use bandit signs or letters and things like that, it works even if you're fixing and flipping or if you're just trying to get rental properties. And so what I did was something called deal compounding, where I would take money from wholesaling. I was taking the $5,000 profits, and then I started fixing and flipping because, again, now I knew how to find properties at a discount. I knew how to find people that were having an issue and flip those properties. So then I started fixing and flipping and making $60,000, $70,000 per deal. Fun fact, if you look this up, the average profit on a fix and flip last year was over $65,000. Yeah, that's not a Noellism. Look it up on Realty Track. So flipping houses is very profitable. Now just think, if you could get $5,000, and then you get another check for $60,000 or $70,000, you can really start to do something. And so this is what I was saying. You start where you are and then you compound. You take the money from the wholesaling, then you do fixing and flipping, and then I got into rental properties. And that's how I was able to quit a 6-figure job. Started with wholesaling, moved to fix and flipping, and then got rental properties and then quit my job. And through each step, I was able to keep monetizing all of my leads, all of the people that were calling me with property problems. I was able to do something with, whether I wholesale that deal or I fix and flipped it, or if I kept it as a rental property, or even if I gave that lead away to a real estate agent and made money. Again, I teach you guys all of this absolutely free. I have a whole video on real estate investing on YouTube, and it's absolutely free. Make sure you check out that entire video. But this is how you can start to get large sums of money fixing and flipping. So fixing and flipping is a great way to start getting large sums of money in while you're earning money on the side. Again, don't do it the stupid way that I did in 2002 and 2003. Do it the way that I do it now, where I find off-market properties and I fix and flip them, and I make about $65,000 on each flip. The next important thing when you're talking about making $1 million quickly is you have to break it down. So like I said, when I said that I wanted to make $1 million per year, I knew I had to break that down even smaller. So then I broke that into $83,000 per month. But then I broke that down even smaller. Like, okay, I'm gonna get $10,000 from my wholesaling. I'm gonna get $5,000 from here. I'm gonna get $2,000 from my books. I'm gonna get $1,500 from my car. I'm gonna get this one from my rental properties. This is how you break it down. You're not gonna try to get all of it in one place. You're going to get one of these streams of income going, and then you will add to them and grow them. Once you get a stream of income going, it is really easy to grow that stream of income. Usually all it requires is for you to do more ads. Like I said, if I was putting out letters and I got 2 people to call me, well, what happens? Send out more letters and you get more people to call you. It's really just that simple. And this is how you can start making money along the way and then take that income to the next level. And then last but not least, and this is how you really take that income to the very next level, is with business credit. So business credit will allow you to build an entire business credit profile, and your business can borrow money in your business's name, not using your personal credit or your social security number. You build credit in your business's name, and you can use those funds to grow your business even faster. Now, let me tell you a big secret. Noelle was so late to the game when it came to business credit. In fact, I think I had my business for like 3 or 4 years before I ever even started it. And that was a big mistake for me, because now my students are able to start building their business credit as soon as they start their business. And now they have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their business's name within a year, okay? I have students that have done that within a year. I started the business that I work in now with my real estate in 2014, and I never started building any business credit until 2017. But today, I have millions of dollars in business credit. So it's a lot faster to build business credit than it is to build your own personal credit. Additionally, when it comes to business credit, they will lend you more. For example, if you have a Capital One card in just your personal name, they may only give you a $500 or $1,000 limit. But when you've opened that credit card in your business's name, like a Capital One Spark card, for example, they start off and give you like $5,000 or $10,000. So the limits are way higher than they are on the personal credit side. This will allow you to grow your business a lot faster. This will allow you to send more letters, run more ads, do things to get more customers to your business so you can hit that $1 million mark a lot faster. This is how you will build your business really quickly and get to $1 million faster than I did. I have written an entire book that I'm giving away to you absolutely free. My new book, Real Estate Millionaire Secrets, is a book that I poured my heart into. I break down all of the techniques and the tactics that I use to go from my parents' basement broke with bad credit to the multimillionaire that you see today. I teach you some low-cost ways to get it done. And again, the book is absolutely free. You just pay for the shipping. Go to noellsfreebook.com. Again, that's noellsfreebook.com. Noelle, Noelle with an S, noellsfreebook.com. Make sure you check that book out. You get it. It's a low-cost way for you to learn real estate and business really quickly. I want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noelle. To your success.